is our tennis Ohio Valley Conference tournament preview with Morehead State head coach Kevin Fulton. I'm Matt Schabert from Athletic Media Relations. And Coach, once again, both teams made the goal of qualifying for the OVC tournament, which comes up this week in Nashville, Tennessee. And let's first start on the women's side. Your team finishes third place again, but 8-2 record. That's 2 years in a row you finished 8-2, and you also finished very strong with a pair of 4-3 victories at Eastern Illinois and SIU Edwardsville this past weekend. So just take us through the girls' women's lineup and how your team looks heading into the OVC tournament.
Yeah, I feel really good about this group of girls. Last year we had Player of the Year Briar Preston, and we lost her to transferring, and I really felt like early on that if this team would kind of bind together, that we could have a great year. And I think this team's actually better than last year's team. And it starts at the top with Andrea LeBlanc. I've called her the catalyst of this program for the last couple of years because when she's on and she's fiery and got a feisty personality and she's exuding that into a positive way, it affects the whole team. And I honestly think she's the most talented player in the conference. We got a transfer in at 2, Aya Tarashi. She has been amazing to work with. She has a lot of swag in doubles, her and Dominique McLean. And if that girl will ever realize how good she could be, we're going to have a great couple of years left here in the conference with her. And then we go down to Dominique McLean, who's a senior this year finally, and she's played so well this season and just come up a little short in some of these matches, but I feel like she's really got her mind right, and she's looking forward to this weekend. She's talked to me a couple of times over the last couple of days. We had a long van trip back from Edwardsville the other night, and she asked me, what do I need to do in this situation? And we talked about it, and I feel like she's ready to take that step forward this last weekend. And then you got Alex Tavosky, our other senior, a transfer from Louisville last year, and when she's on, she really kind of puts it together with the rest of the team. I think when she's playing well, the other girls see it and they step up a little bit more. Her leadership, along with Dom and Andreas, has been excellent this spring. We haven't had very many problems at all. And, then we go on to Haley Wild, and I'll just say it this. I think she's, 18-2 in conference in 2 years. You watch her play and you think, man, this girl, I don't know how she's that good, but hands down, in my mind, one of the best players in the Ohio Valley Conference. If the match is at 3-all, I want Haley Wild on the court. And then, we round out the lineup with Alexandra Savage, and the growth in her from August to right now is amazing. And a lot of it has to do with her understanding what college tennis is about, and it not being so much about how I feel right now, but more about how I compete. And I'm very impressed with how much she's matured mentally over the year. And we round out our team with Maria Ornella and Lamborghini Robinson, and those two bring a lot of energy to practice. They bring a lot of energy to the matches. And it's a great group of girls, and I've said this to them before. I hope my own daughter's a lot like them when she gets older, because they have been great examples of what student athletes should be. So that's our girls team, and I really feel like we're a very dangerous team going into this tournament. I think that neither the top 2 seeds want to play us, and I think if we get past Martin, it's going to be a great weekend.
Let's move over to the men's side of things, and your team gets in at 6th place. Maybe not the record you were looking for, but there were a lot of close matches this year. You've got a very talented club all through the lineup. So let's talk a little bit about the men's team and what you've seen from them this year. And I know you've got one of the best players at the top of the lineup in Richie Kroonenberg, who has a good chance to maybe be OVC Player of the Year and definitely an all-conference player.
Absolutely. And, you bring up a great point about how talented this team is. And yes, we kind of got in the back door, but we have been so close to clicking all year. We played very well against Alabama. We played very well against Kentucky, against Louisville. We played very well against Purdue, and we played a heck of a schedule this year. And it absolutely starts with Richie Kroonenberg. I cannot say enough about this kid. And I want to back up a little bit and talk about Richie as a person. This is a kid who is very disciplined in what he eats, very disciplined in how he works out, very disciplined in the classroom. And it really kind of goes over onto the court. We had a workout just a little bit ago, and he goes, "I'm a terrible practice player." And I said, "But I know you're a match player." And, we had a decision early in the season that we thought about maybe putting a freshman above him who came in January, Sebastian Penaloza. And it literally took me 2 seconds to say no to myself, that this is a kid who's special. He's going to have a special year. He's 7-2 in the conference, and he had 2 close losses, arguably on 2 days that weren't the best conditions. And he has just been a joy to coach and a fine young man.
He beat, I believe, if he beat the preseason number 1 and number 2 players this year that were ranked. The OVC does preseason rankings. I think it was Belmont and Tennessee Tech. I know he beat both of those guys.
He beat both those guys, and he was ranked 7th, which I don't think they looked at his fall results the way I did. I mean, the guy is just lights out. And if you have a chance to come out next fall or next spring to watch a match, he's fun to watch. He has a lot of personality on the court. He's a big, tall, 6'5", left-handed kid from Holland, and like I said, I wish I had a lot of them. But I think that way about all the boys. So I'm going to go on forward with Sebastian Penaloza, a kid we brought in January. He was ranked as high as 99 in the world in juniors. Struggled a little bit early. I think a lot of it is a language barrier a little bit. But he has something special in him. And I think that if we can get him to focus on the now and not the past and not the future, he's going to be very, very special for a few years in this league, like Richie as well. At 3, we got Gabriel Ruiz. The kid played 6 for us last year in 3 doubles. Now he's playing 1 doubles and 3 singles, and arguably the most improved player on our team and possibly in the conference. Gabriel is, we call him Poppy. Poppy has just grown up quite a bit. He's taken better care of his body. He came back to school in a little bit better shape. He works extremely hard in practice. He works extremely hard in any individual you have with the kid. In the van, he is a leader. Again, this is some of these kids, English is not their first language, and some of it's not even their second language. And he has just worked very hard off the court as well as he has in the court. When we're on road trips, he's always asking me, "Hey, can I room with Enrique? Can I room with this guy because we got to study?" So it goes a long way to me knowing how much he has grown up over the years. And then we go on to Nick Mercer, who's one of my captains. We don't have enough time to talk about Nick Mercer in our first 3 years with that kid.
We'll have a whole show just for him later.
We have a whole show called the Nicholas Mercer Show. The kid has really grown up quite a bit from his freshman year. He was named captain this year by me, and he's a joy to coach. We butt heads quite a bit, but at the same time, we're on the same page. And he had a terrible match on Friday against EIU. And after that match at SIUE, he told the team, "Hey, I played bad yesterday, and I was going to leave it all out on the court today." And I can't thank him enough for kind of doing all the little things it takes to keep a team together. Or even we've talked about this in the past about tennis, how it's not really an individual sport in college, it's a team sport. And he really has brought these guys together. And we got another freshman at 5 singles, Jose Zuro, we call him Peppo. He played unbelievable this weekend. This is a kid who early in the season was finding every excuse he can find. It was the court, it was the balls, it was the string, it was the weather. This kid now was out there fighting. He beat a veteran on Saturday. I mean, he beat Nico Kuhn straight up, and that kid has owned Nick Mercer. He's beat Nick Mercer 2 years in a row pretty bad. And he's just really growing up right in front of our eyes. He's a young kid. He's 18 years old. He looks like he's 14 years old. But, he's done an exceptional job. And then we round out with Enrique Samudio. He's been here 2 years. This is really his first opportunity to get in the lineup, and he has embraced it. He's done an exceptional job. I'm very excited for the future, for next year for him, because I think once he takes these experiences of this year and puts them with a little bit more match experience in the fall, he's going to have a great senior year as well. And we round out with Tyler Edlin and Garrett Mandrell. Garrett's playing 3 doubles right now with Enrique, and it's brought a great lift to us. And I want to say this because he needs to hear it, but Tyler Edlin was the MVP of the weekend. We didn't have a stringer with us because we didn't have enough room in the van. We had 4 rackets break on Saturday in doubles, and he went up and strung those rackets. And we talked before the match it was going to be a team effort to win today, from the 8 guy to the 1 guy, and he made me look like I was clairvoyant. But I really like this guy's team. I think Austin P, is a tough matchup for us, but I think these guys know they can win this match on Friday.
Coach, good luck with both teams at the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament. Thanks for joining us here on MSUEagles.com. And OVC Tournament, as we said, in Nashville, Tennessee, on April 17 through 19. Morehead State women start with UT Martin. They're the number 3 seed. UT Martin, the number 6 seed. And the men are the number 6 seed, and they'll play Austin P first. Both of those matches are on Friday with semifinals and championship. Coach, once again, thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Always a pleasure to be on the show with you.
That's the Tennis OVC Tournament preview with head coach Kevin Fulton.